Engines roar, lights blur, then impact. The world spins in metal and fire, every second captured, every sound real. No scripts, no second takes. Hold tight and get ready. Losing control on the slippery road, the car slides into the opposite lane. A moment later, it crashes into an oncoming vehicle with brutal force. A car pulls onto the icy road, unaware of the danger. Another vehicle slides helplessly toward it, unable to stop before the inevitable crash. Two heavy trucks charge toward each other on the open road. In a split second, they collide head-on, a violent crash that leaves twisted metal in its wake. A motorcyclist rides onto the railway tracks, unaware of the oncoming train. In the final second, he jumps clear, as his bike is crushed beneath the speeding locomotive. A small car pulls out to make a turn, unaware of a speeding truck approaching. The icy road leaves the truck no chance to stop, and in moments, it crashes into the helpless vehicle. As the truck rumbles down the road, a large icicle breaks free from its roof. In an instant, it crashes onto a passing car, a chilling reminder of hidden winter dangers. As a moose dashes across the icy road, the bus driver swerves to avoid it. The massive vehicle skids uncontrollably, sliding sideways over the frozen surface. At a busy intersection, a fire truck rushes through with sirens blaring. But a small car crosses its path, and the two collide in a sudden, jarring crash.
So I went horse hunting.
A car drifts into the oncoming lane, speeding toward traffic. Moments later, it crashes into approaching vehicles, sending debris flying across the road. Trying to outrun the police, the driver slams into another vehicle. Within seconds, he jumps out and flees on foot, leaving chaos behind. A sudden stop on a busy road triggers a chain reaction. 3 cars are damaged in the crash, while the driver who caused it speeds away without looking back. A driver records a truck moving slowly down the road. Its twisted frame and shattered panels reveal the aftermath of a serious crash. A truck slammed into a bus at high speed, startling the man who was rushing toward it. He may have been late for work, but fate kept him outside. An ambulance rushes through a red light, sirens blaring. But a speeding car crosses the same intersection, colliding with it and flipping the ambulance onto its side. At a snowy intersection, a car turns slowly across the lane. Suddenly, another vehicle rushes in and hits it hard, the crash breaking the stillness of the scene. A bus crossing the railway tracks collided with a train, a terrifying moment that shows how a second's mistake can lead to disaster. A large Kamaz truck stands by the roadside, smoke slowly rising from its hood. Bystanders pull out their phones, recording in disbelief as flames begin to spread. A heavy truck loses traction on the icy road, its trailer swaying uncontrollably. Within seconds, it crosses the center line and smashes into another truck coming from the opposite side. A Kamaz truck rolls forward uncontrollably, slamming into another parked Kamaz. The driver standing nearby barely escapes being hit. A delivery truck loses control on a busy stretch of road. The impact with a heavy Kamaz sends the larger vehicle tipping onto its side in a cloud of dust. Two cars approach the intersection from different directions. In a moment of misjudgment, they collide hard at the crossing. A Kamaz truck loaded with concrete beams struggles to stay steady on icy roads. As it skids out of control, the heavy beams spill onto the opposite lane, heading straight toward oncoming cars. A bus fails to notice the car ahead and crashes straight into it. Trapped between two buses, the small vehicle is crushed in a frightening sandwich of metal and glass. In winter conditions, a car lost control and slammed into another at full speed. A truly terrifying crash on icy roads. The race car hugs the edge of the track, sparks flying from its tires. But as it scrapes against the wall, flames erupt, engulfing the vehicle in seconds. Two cars enter the intersection at the same time. Neither driver yields, and their sudden collision sends debris flying across the road. A small car cuts sharply in front of a truck, forcing the driver to swerve left. The truck crashes into another beside it, while the reckless car speeds away from the scene. On the roadside, a car burns fiercely, flames consuming its frame. The heat distorts the air as smoke rises into the cold sky, a haunting sight of destruction. On a frozen stretch of road, two cars race toward each other with little visibility. In an instant, they collide head-on, the brutal force of the crash echoing through the winter air. A man steps onto the road, unaware of the danger ahead. The speeding truck veers off to avoid him, but the shoulder gives way, sending the massive vehicle plunging into the river below.
From Victor Martins, is he going to take the lead from Alex Dunn? Oh!
During the race, a single mistake sets off a chain reaction. Cars spin out, collide, and pile up in a massive crash across the track. A speeding car loses control and veers off course. It crashes into a row of parked vehicles, sending pieces of metal and glass flying. A police car speeds through with its lights flashing. Suddenly, it skids on the slick road and crashes hard into the roadside fence. At a busy intersection, a bus approaches too fast to stop in time. It slams into a small car ahead, a moment of miscalculation with devastating results. Unbelievable! The paved road gave way right under a moving car, a terrifying moment caught on camera. While trying to park, the driver clips the car behind, then bumps the one in front. After a few tense seconds, the vehicle finally settles awkwardly into the spot. Losing control, a Kamaz truck barrels forward uncontrollably. It plows into the cars ahead, triggering a massive and terrifying chain reaction crash. Raging water presses against the concrete barrier, its force growing by the second. Then the wall gives way, unleashing a torrent that floods the streets and engulfs the city below. At the intersection, one car begins a careful turn, but another, speeding straight through, crashes into it, the quiet street erupting in the sound of impact. A trolley bus moves forward as two cars hesitate to clear the road. With no time to stop, it crashes into both, pushing them aside with its massive weight. A motorcyclist speeds too close to the river's edge. At the last moment, his friend jumps off, but the bike and its rider plunge straight into the water. A calm drive turns tragic when the driver loses control of the wheel. The car veers off the road and slams hard into a tree. small car tries to overtake another that's already passing. Losing control for just a moment, it skids and crashes into the vehicle ahead. A van tries to cross the railway just as the barriers come down, trapping it on the tracks. With nowhere to go, the driver can only wait until a speeding train slams into the rear of the vehicle. A car gets cut off in traffic and swerves sharply to avoid a collision. Instead, it slams into a garage door, crashing straight inside. A truck loaded with bricks was driving in the opposite lane when one flew off and smashed into a car's windshield. Luckily, the driver escaped with just a scare. A moment of inattention is all it takes. One car slams into another, the quiet street erupting with the sound of metal on metal. A woman steps off the curb, unaware of the speeding car approaching. The driver swerves just in time, only to crash into the parked vehicle behind. A small delivery truck drives calmly along the busy road. Moments later, it erupts in a sudden explosion, turning the ordinary commute into chaos. The rocket ignites and begins its ascent, hope rising with it. But within seconds, a deafening explosion shatters the launch site, marking a catastrophic failure. Smoke begins to rise from the upper floors of the building. Moments later, flames spread rapidly, devouring the structure as the fire intensifies with every passing second. The driver loses control as the car skids across the wet road. In an instant, it slams into a traffic light, bringing the chaos to a halt. A firefighting helicopter hovers low over the lake to collect water. But in a sudden loss of control, it tilts and plunges straight into the water below. The Ferris wheel turns slowly against the sky, lights twinkling in the evening. Then flames appear on one of the cabins, and horrified onlookers capture the unfolding disaster on their phones. The car skids uncontrollably on the icy road, its tires scraping for grip. A second later, it crashes into an oncoming vehicle, a split-second slip turning into disaster. The camera pans across a quiet horizon. In the distance, a massive fireball erupts, rising into the sky like a fiery mushroom cloud. A car pulls into a parking lot but suddenly surges forward. It crashes into a parked moped, sending nearby pedestrians scattering in shock. The driver loses control and drifts onto the roadside. In seconds, the car skids sideways and flips over with a deafening crash. At a busy intersection, a driver fails to brake in time and crashes into the car ahead. The impact flips the vehicle over, sending it rolling violently across the pavement. An old building stands in silence, its walls cracked and weary with time. Then it suddenly collapses, sending up a massive cloud of dust as terrified bystanders run for safety. The driver pulls over after hearing strange noises from his car. When he opens the hood, smoke begins to pour out, thickening rapidly as the engine overheats. A small car moves out to overtake, misjudging the distance ahead. In an instant, it collides head-on with an approaching truck. Traffic flows smoothly down the busy street. Suddenly, with a loud bang, the manhole covers shoot into the air, startling everyone nearby. A racer pushes his car to the limit, but control slips away. The vehicle slams into a fence at full speed, erupting in a sudden fiery explosion. The truck lost control and slammed into a car, a brutal reminder of how quickly accidents can happen. A heavy truck approaches too fast to brake in time. Within seconds, it plows into the line of waiting cars ahead, metal crunching under its unstoppable weight. Here, a speeding car crashes into a truck at full force. Yet, miraculously, everyone survived. The helicopter descends carefully toward the landing zone, but a sudden tilt turns precision into disaster as it crashes violently upon touching down. A heavy truck loses control on the icy road, swerving across the center line. In a split second, it crashes head-on into another truck coming from the opposite direction. A car soared through the air above the road. Not Superman, not a meteor, but a real vehicle flying at full speed. A car started crashing into everything around it, and a nearby driver rushed over, only to discover, unbelievably, that a dog was behind the wheel trying to steal the car. A truck tows a car on a rope, moving steadily down the uneven road. When it hits a bump, the towed vehicle swings wildly to the side, smashing into several parked cars, leaving a trail of damage behind. As one car cautiously enters the intersection, another speeds in from the right. The collision is sudden and brutal, the sound of impact echoing through the crossroads. A driver ignores the red light and rolls onto the train tracks just as the barriers close. Moments later, a speeding train smashes into the abandoned car, tearing it apart on impact. Crazy crashes, epic saves, don't blink. Like and subscribe for more jaw-dropping moments.